Good evening, rockers. Vegas Rock got us here on the rocks. Total entertainment coming to you live from Henderson, Nevada. As you can tell, I am a little under the weather, but the show never stops. So tonight, this is the year end 2025. We are going to be talking about guitar players. The whole show is dedicated to my favorite instrument, the guitar, and we're going to talk to various friends of mine that are in the business, and you're going to get to know each and every one of them tonight. So we are on a time limit. So when these guys hear the alarm, it's time to go to the next individual. So let's go ahead and start letting everybody in. It's going to be a great show. All right. Everybody can turn their mics on.
Hello,
Oh,
can you hear me?
hello.
We are on.
Am I too loud or am I not loud enough?
No, you're good.
Okay, good.
Good. I'm giving us about 5 minutes to let everybody in.
Okay.
So,
I know that guy. I love that guy.
How are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
Doing all right.
I'm very pleased to see you here.
Good to see you as well.
This
All
is going to
right.
be an interesting show, so bear with me. My voice goes in and out a little, but it's rock and roll, folks.
It's rock and
Okay.
roll. Yeah.
So, we're going to get the party started here in just a minute.
All right.
All right, we have our panel for the evening. I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves. Taylor, why don't you go ahead first?
Okay, I'm Taylor T. Carlson. I'm the assistant editor for the Z Rocker magazine, also a YouTuber. I do concert reviews, album reviews, film reviews, a little bit of everything. I'm also a self-published author, and I'm going to be working on reworking the books that I've done in the next year.
Awesome. What about Matthias and Shay?
Yeah, hi, Matthias and Shay here. We
Shay.
are from the Rockin' Roundtable, and we have a YouTube channel. We do reactions, we do interviews, and album reviews, and all that kinds of stuff as well. And we just launched our website the other day here, the
Congratulations.
rockinroundtable.com.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, Joe, you're up.
Hi, I'm Joe Whitley, and I'm just a humble guitar player with some opinions.
Okay, Rob.
My name is Rob Hussey. I sing for the band Cyanide, and that is original music, and the tribute bands Red Hot, tribute to Motley Crue, Play Dirty, tribute to Poison, and Flight 666, tribute to Iron Maiden.
Awesome. Now everybody knows who I am because this is my show.
Right.
Anyway,
That's why we're here.
okay, so let's get the party started. Joe, are you
Oh,
ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just try to turn on another light so you can see my
Okay.
face, but
Yeah, that would help.
I am. Here we go.
Okay.
better?
Give me 1 second.
That looks a little better.
I was hoping I could get it brighter in here so you could see all my
Perfect.
toys, but
Looks good, Joe. Okay. Your time
Awesome.
starts now.
Okay. Well, what did you want to talk about? I mean, I know we had two guitar players to pick from.
Yeah, both of them. Let's get it going.
Okay, so my two guitar players I picked were Slash and Tony Iommi because they have the two biggest influences on my sound, and they represent two of my favorite bands in rock and roll for two different reasons. But you can throw them both in sort of the same category.
Well,
Did you want me to talk about?
It's
ahead.
funny because I saw you at Slash, remember?
I do
And
remember.
you were in the front waiting to get in, and we were kind of behind you. Then you were to the right side of the stage. Then you were in the middle with us. That was one fucking great show.
It wasn't it. It was incredible, and it's funny you mentioned that. I get around. I got to the casino at noon, thinking there was going to be like a line forming to get in, And I was such a nerd, and I got there so early that I got to hear the band sound check.
That's
So
crazy.
yeah,
Excellent.
just sitting there listening to the band sound check, running through their songs, and I'm the only one there in
Well,
the hallway.
Joe, tell us what Slash means to you.
It means everything to me. The whole reason why I'm here and what I do. Um, so back in 2007, a little game called Guitar Hero came out,
Hmm.
and Slash was on the front cover of that game. And 2007 would have put me at about 14 years old. And so I was discovering the real guitar and Guitar Hero at the same time simultaneously. My aunt was a gamer. I'm not even like really that hardcore of a gamer. I like Grand Theft Auto, but I'm not really like a big gamer, like Call of Duty guy or whatever. So she was like, check out this game. It's the hottest thing out right now. It's called Guitar Hero. And what it did for me was like my dad's a jazz guy, so I didn't have like an older brother, and I'm the oldest, so I didn't have like an older sibling or anybody in my family that was like, hey Joe, here's this thing called rock and roll, study up. I didn't have anything like my dad only talked about Buddy Rich and Miles Davis and stuff like that. So that's like the education I got. And so when I was like, "Hey, Dad, what's this thing called rock and roll? This is crazy!" And then I like that game drew a lot of connected a lot of dots for me. It was like it made it so that I like could put band names and stuff to songs that I already knew. Everybody you could turn on the radio and you could hear Metallica, Inner Sandman, but I didn't know it was called Inner Sandman or who James Hetfield was, or you know what I mean. So Guitar Hero kind of connected all those dots for me as I was also learning real guitar at the same time.
Okay, so let's talk about Tony Iommi.
Right? Absolute badass, the undisputed godfather of heavy metal, in my opinion. Just I love those menacing sounding riffs. Who doesn't love those riffs? And then but the way he soloed remind me a lot of like a Slash, as far as like the licks he would
The
pick.
style.
Like the notes he would go for, the scales he would go for, the style would be a better way. Yeah. So I just love that Tony Iommi sort of had like that Slash school of thought with his guitar solos, but his riffs, you would never hear Tony Iommi come up with "Welcome to the Jungle." You know what I'm saying? Like that's not. It's two different. It's two different things. But like when you fast forward to the guitar solo section, you hear a lot of the same sort of pentatonic blues bends and what have you.
Yeah, I would say Tony Iommi is more blues based, and
Mm-hmm.
people don't get it.
Yeah. I mean, he, from what I understand, with his background, he mentioned that when he had the finger. Everybody knows the story about how he lost the fingertips, right? Do we need to go over that
No.
again? Or
Yeah.
I think we're all educated on that, right?
Yeah.
So
I even know the name of the gang he was in.
oh, that's next level.
Yeah.
But when that happened, he's always said like, I didn't have any interest in playing guitar. My doctor said I'd never play again, yada yada yada. He kind of got depressed and gave up for a bit there. But then someone at his job gave him a Django Reinhardt record. The famous jazz blues guitarist Django Reinhardt. So everything that Tony learned was all blues based from that era. They come from what, post World War II.
Yeah, but
era.
you know what? I still think Slash is also blues based.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Just his style alone, from his last two solo albums. I love watching him play. When I saw him play at the Virgin right up front, I got some of the best pictures I will ever get of Slash. And it was almost life-changing for me, actually being that close to Slash. I mean, it was an incredible evening.
Yeah, there's nothing like the first time being that close. It's one thing being in a stadium in the nosebleed seats, a million miles away watching the Jumbotron versus being right there.
Oh yeah.
And being able to feel the sweat fly off of his.
Yeah. I mean, Yeah, and that's similar what vamped meant to us, and we're all going to kind of touch on that at the end. But yeah, I mean, you cannot go wrong with Slash or Tony Iommi. Two
I mean,
amazing players.
and that's if you asked me to pick two, which you did. So those are my top two. But of course, there's Jimmy Page. There's Keith Richards. There's Joe Perry, as Rob mentioned.
Right.
But if you're asking me for two, it's Slash and Tony Iommi for me.
Perfect. Okay, you got 5 more minutes, Joe. What do you
Okay.
want? Why don't you plug your album?
I will happily give you an update on that because it's been quite a frustrating process, to be honest with you. I don't want to, let this be my therapy session about it, but there's been some bumps in the road, and some people involved have had to go to the hospital for things, and some people, this record has a lot of guests and a lot of different Las Vegas musicians involved on it, and so trying to coordinate everybody's schedule has been a logistical nightmare. But it's definitely, I will say the album's been a labor of love, and when it comes out I might shed a tear when I actually have the thing in my hands, because
you will,
because it's been hell. I mean, it's only 4 or 5 tracks, and you think you can get that done lickety split these days with the technology that we have, but it had nothing to do with the technology. It had everything to do with scheduling. I mean, this was a madness of my creation, so I'm happy to say that the guitars are officially finished as of this past week. We are still waiting on one performance from one person, and outside of that, it's almost ready to be put out.
Awesome, Joe. So glad to hear that. That's amazing.
Yeah. I'm going to do my best to fill 2026 up with as many dates as possible.
Okay, great. What is a New Year's resolution that you'd like to tell us for 2026?
So a lot of people make New Year's resolutions and don't keep them, but I will play more gigs in 2026 as Joe Whitley and the Strays. That
Awesome.
much is a fact.
I love it. That's what I expected to hear from you, Joe.
Yeah.
Okay, so
time to do something with all that attention I grabbed.
Okay, so let's move along. We have a few extra minutes, but I'm going to move it along to Shay and Matthias. You guys are amazing. You were just on with me. Let's get to it, Matthias. You sent me a long list of 2 guitar players, which were blowing me away. So go to it.
Yeah. So my take on this is a bit different because obviously I grew up in the 70s, if you will, and my all-time favorite guitar player is Yngwie Malmsteen, and that's never ever going to change. But for this session today, or this meeting we have today, or the show, your show, Carol. So what I did, or what we did, we talked about who do we want to kind of talk about, and we want to talk about 2 new guitar players for us. Even though these guys, they have been around for quite some time, they're successful, but for the broader audience, if you will, they're not that famous. And the first one we want to talk about is Joona Björkroth. And it's a Finnish guy. I think that's the way he pronounces his name, Joona Björkroth. And he plays with the band Battle Beast. And Battle Beast is a Finnish kind of power metal band, melodic power metal, with the fantastic Nora Louimos as a singer. But she just announced she left the band this week, actually.
Yeah, after 13 years.
After 13 years. But this guy, we've seen him live, and they always stream their shows,
every show
on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
And every single show, he doesn't miss a note. It's always so clean and so melodic, so perfect. Every single guitar solo, it's like it's almost playback. And I'm so impressed with this guy. And he has Battle Beast, but he also has a band called Brimir, which is a Finnish melodic death metal band that were founded back in 2006, I think. So they've been around for a long time, but they have not had the success that Battle Beast has. So, and the reason why I pick him is because I'm just so impressed, like I said, with the guitar playing and the clean it clean because it's. I mean, he has so much distortion, obviously, but when he plays, it sounds like it's a straight out of the amp without anything, right? So
It's so clean and like perfect, pristine, like the way he does it. Yeah.
and very precise.
Now, Matthias, have you seen them perform live?
Yes.
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 Yeah, we did see them. When was that?
20 summer 2024.
Yeah, in Santa Ana,
Yeah.
California, and that was
And
one
we
of the
and
best
we
shows.
did we got to meet them as well. So yeah. That was kind of cool.
And he actually recognized us. He's
Yes,
like, "Hey, I know you guys."
Nice.
Yeah, so that was cool. I mean, I guess because we have done a couple of reactions to Battle Beast. And
Yeah.
So anyway, that was cool. That was appreciated. So yeah, he is one of the guys I really want to promote. And for you guys who are musicians and into music, take a listen to him because he's really fucking good, to be honest.
Matthias, why don't you give us a link where we can locate them?
Yeah, I will send that over to you after this.
Okay.
Yeah. So a Battle Beast, that was a battlebeast.fi is their website, but I can send over some links as well.
And they can,
And their YouTube channel as well.
And can you find them on Instagram and Facebook as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
So you guys were at the last Vamped. I got to sit at your table and talk to you briefly. What are your closing thoughts that we're closing out 25 on the music scene here in Vegas without Vamped?
Yeah, that's a good question. So obviously we're all still sad about that, but we know we have to move on. And one place we have found that is cool is Tuscany. So Copa Room at Tuscany.
Yeah.
That place, I like that. It's a good stage and a really good sound there, typically. And we have, what's his name, Brian from BAMT. He's the sound engineer there on a few shows. So, which is a good indication it's going to be badass there as well. And they have had some good bands, and I think they're going to really add more bands during 2026. And maybe Joe, you can play there. So,
Yeah, they treat
I'd
the
be
bands
happy
really
to.
well there too. That's important.
yeah.
There's not a lot of that in the business, so
No,
very thankful that Tuscany came along.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
And also bootleggers
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
down the
That Copa
street
Lounge.
as well at their Copa Lounge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So many couples.
So too many copas.
And we also support BBB and with Carlos and Ava
Oh my gosh.
and
yes.
and definitely the usual place and the space. So other venues. So hopefully there are more venues that'll open this coming year.
There's
we're
the Great
losing
Witch
too many.
that's open recently.
yeah?
And they haven't really got things going in a big way yet, but I think they can.
What was the place?
The
Rob?
Great Witch.
The Great Witch. The Grey Witch?
Yeah, the Gray Witch. It's out in Henderson.
Huh. Like Water Street?
And there's
No, not Water Street.
Okay, I'll look it up. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I didn't interrupt.
But no, that's good to know, Rob.
and there's a place called Swan Dive as well. Has anyone been to Swan Dive? It's near the Art District.
I have
Like
not.
Infected Rain, a lot of those death metal bands are been playing. They're scheduled to be playing earlier in this coming year of 2026.
Oh,
Nice.
okay.
So
But yeah, we can't forget BBB. Carlos and Ava
yeah.
are keeping the music alive.
yes,
And
yes,
I want to thank them personally. I've seen, they're good friends. And 26 is going to be great for that venue,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Because I love them so much because they put on all kinds of music as well. I mean, they're not just one single genre, right?
Right.
So they do a great job, and they've always been supportive to the scene.
Yes, for
So-
sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What about your resolutions for 26?
The resolution is that we're going to continue our work with, the Rockin' Roundtable, our YouTube channel. We're going to enhance the kind of the concept of it. We're going to add more interviews. We have been, falling behind on interviews and stuff like that because obviously it's timing and day jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we're gonna
Tell me
continue
about
to
it.
yeah, right. Do more and more of that. And like we talked about last week, Carol, you have been an inspiration for us to keep going. And Taylor as well. I mean, the video you made for Vamp there was just amazing.
Thank you.
So
Yeah, that was cool.
yeah, so we are really excited to be part of this community, and we're just going to do our part as good as we can and make sure we get more exposure. That Las Vegas rock scene gets more exposure than it already has.
That's
Yeah,
right.
and it's unfortunate because a lot of the bands that I'm interviewing are from Nashville. And let me tell you, when I go to Nashville, it's Nash Vegas. That's all they're saying to me. And
No.
excuse me,
That should be the name of a new venue.
Yeah.
that could be.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying they're really dominating the scene right now. And I hate to say that. Sorry about the locals, but I mean, Rob, you're killing it. I never have to worry about, you getting out and doing your thing. But Nashville is just putting the stamp on rock and roll right now. So we'll see what 26
That makes
brings.
sense.
For sure. Just a little
we'll
side
see.
note. Okay.
No, but it's a good point. And I want to mention another guitar player here because you had a second one we want to mention as well. His name is Magnus Carlsson. Magnus Carlsson, you may know him from the band Primal Fear, which is also like a power metal band. But he is like a songwriter working for so many artists. So he has been working with John Lande out of Norway. So he has the Russell Allen and John Lande albums. He writes the songs for that. And Annette Olsen, who used to be in Nightwish. He also has another band called Ferryman. And Ferryman is with the singer who used to sing with Michael Schenker. I can't remember his name now. He's from Chile or something like that. But really, really good singer. Romero.
Ronnie Romero.
Ronnie Romero. Thank you,
thanks.
Taylor.
There we go.
Yeah, he is absolutely killer. So that's the band Ferryman. He also has his own band called Magnus Carlsson's Free Fall, with members from Hammerfall.
And
stuff like that.
don't get me wrong, but we had this conversation last week. Madzilla, Nocturnal Affair, Velvet Chains, Cyanide. These are bands that are really shaping the rock in Vegas.
100%.
Right.
And we really have to keep the conversation going.
Yeah.
And it's
And
important.
Far Worst. Don't forget Far Worst. Yeah.
Free and
And I'm coming up
Jake.
behind all of you.
Yeah, you too, Joe. Stop it.
I'm
Looking
not-
forward to
I-
see you live.
Yeah, we
It'll-
want to see you live, buddy.
It'll happen.
I know. I'll be right in the front. Taking pictures.
Of course you will.
But
Yeah.
anyway, I mean, we still got a lot of great players in this town. Joe, we got Rob here. Really important to keep it going. With the way these venues are really starting to crack down, I think they need to loosen the reins, if you know what I'm saying. We'll leave that for another show. But let's go ahead and we'll move on to Taylor.
Okay. So the guitar player that I'm going to start off talking about, I don't think there's really a better choice than this on account of the fact that he was so influential and we lost him that year, and that's Ace Frehley. And a little bit of background on me. I was not really a big music fan as a kid, but Kiss was one of the bands that I discovered, and they really ushered that in for me. Ace Frehley was always a very flashy guy, certainly had his demons, but he always managed to overcome things and come back. And he fought that his whole life, but he just never stopped. Right up until the day he died, he was a rock and roller. And it's really interesting because if you look back on his history, I mean, when they were first looking for a guitar player, it was between him and Bob Kulick. And it makes me wonder, if they had made the other decision, what would have happened? Would Ace Frehley still have been discovered and become this guitar phenom that the world knew and loved? I mean, what would have become of Kiss with someone in the band who was maybe, maybe a little more reliable, but didn't have the flash? Would they have been as big?
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point, Taylor. Very good
question.
point. How many albums did Ace Frehley have out?
If you mean like solo albums, I'd say it probably had about 8 or so, if I just had to take a guess off the top of my head. And it's interesting with him too, because the first 5 Kiss albums, he wrote or co-wrote a bunch of songs, but he never sang any of them back then because he wasn't confident in his ability as a singer. And then on the Love Gun album, he sings the song "Shock Me" and shows that he's more than capable. Not long after that, they do the solo albums, the 4 solo albums, and Ace is the guy who was always kind of in the shadows compared to the others. He's the guy that springs forward and gets the best reviewed solo album. He has the one big hit single off of any of them, New York Groove.
Mm-hmm.
And then
right, it was 8
song. Amazing.
And after that, the first album they did after the solo albums was Dynasty. And not a lot of people know this, but on Dynasty, Ace has more lead vocals than Gene. So
3-2.
Almost overnight, the dynamics of the band had changed pretty drastically. Even when you go to the Unmasked album, much maligned, but a personal favorite of mine, he sings like 3 songs on there. And then on The Elder, again, another maligned album, but also a personal favorite of mine, he sings the song Dark Light, which I think is actually one of his greatest Kiss songs. Random trivia, that song was actually co-written by Lou Reed, of all people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
The Elder, just a side note, is one of the most underground records for Kiss, because a lot of people don't know about it.
For sure.
The Elder actually was a movie soundtrack. It was a movie that I heard never got released.
Never got made.
Right.
Yeah.
So Kiss decided to put the album out anyway. So that's a little backstory on that, but
for sure. And then, after that, he quit the band, and for a few years, he was just off everybody's radar. But then, Eddie Trunk signs with the Megaforce Records, and he comes back with that release Comet record in 1987. And all of a sudden, Ace is back on top. I think that might be the best album he ever made outside of Kiss, honestly. And, not just due to his work. You had Todd Howarth also doing vocals and guitar, one of the most underrated men in the industry, in my opinion. Second Frehley's Comet album, not quite as good as the first because it's also more of a Todd Howarth album than an Ace Frehley album. Still got some good tunes on there. But even after that, he came back with Trouble Walking, great album, a lot of guest stars, great band, great assortment of guest stars. And then after that, it's like he sort of faded away again, didn't put out another album for 20 years, and then he comes back. I guess Anomaly was probably the next one he did. And then, nice mix of covers, original tunes, and he just kept cranking the albums out after that for the rest of his life. I mean, a few years ago, he put out an album, he put out a song called Bronx Boy. And I mean, that song, even though it's a relatively new one by comparison, that's become a personal favorite of mine. And if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I like Ace. When I heard about his death, I was shocked. I really was. Because he just recently played here.
And, I was at that show.
I'm just bummed we're not going to get a Origins Volume 3. That's what he was working on when he died.
Yeah, I think that's going to get released.
I just wonder how much of it he finished.
I looked it up and it said that he didn't finish enough of his parts, but I hope I'm wrong.
Maybe somebody will step in and help him finish that record.
Keith Robert.
No better man.
Robert.
No better man for the job.
Exactly. Right. So we'll see what happens with that. But what, in your opinion, Taylor, was the best Kiss show ever?
Well, that's kind of hard to say because I only ever actually saw Kiss once, and that was actually not with Ace Frehley. So it's hard to pick a best show because, again, I only saw the band one time and not with Ace. Funnily, I saw Ace solo more times than I actually did Kiss.
Yeah, I'll tell you mine. I saw Kiss 4 times. I saw them for Lick It Up. I saw them in the reunion tour. The first reunion tour
Right.
Let's see what else. I did have front row seats to Kiss. Loverboy was opening up for them.
Oh wow.
But that show was canceled.
Damn.
And I was mad about that. First row, man, front row seats. Oh, French kiss on that one. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I've seen Kiss quite a few times over the decades. How about you, Joe? Have you seen Kiss?
Never got to see Kiss, unfortunately, but I do have a very short Ace story if we have a time for just really quick. I'll make it real quick. It's not that long. So he just recently came out with an album last year called 10,000 Volts. Say what you will about the album, I loved it, but I did a cover of the single 10,000 Volts, and Ace left a little rock horns emoji on my video, like the official blue checkmark account across multiple platforms too. It was YouTube, TikTok. Like I was like, wow, okay,
that's great.
I love
so. And then I saw him at Eddie Trunk's 40th anniversary party. It was a private party at Hard Rock, or was it Hard Rock?
House of Blues.
House of Blues, right? Thank you. And our dearly beloved Stoney Curtis got me into that show. Thank you. Shout out to Stoney. And
another amazing guitar player in Vegas.
He's the one we're waiting on.
Okay, hurry up, Stoney.
I won't tell anymore. No, so I saw Ace walking with his then girlfriend, and he walked past me, and I was like, for the half second, I was like, do I tell him? Do I tell him? Nah, I'm just gonna let him go. And I let him go.
Damn.
I didn't want to bother him. Anyway, I'm done interjecting.
Rob, what are your feelings on Ace?
I was about 6, and for some reason, I was allowed to hang out with these 14-year-old kids on my block. And so I was at one of their houses, and he had a Kiss poster, and it was the Love Gun poster. And, I was like, wow, what is that? Are those girls? And he's like, no, man, that's Kiss. You've never heard Kiss? I'm like, no, I've only heard the Beatles and Led Zeppelin, which is good enough, He takes Love Gun and puts it on, and I Stole Your Love started, and I was in love. They stole my love that very moment. And from that moment on, I didn't talk about anything but Kiss or listen to anything but Kiss until like 1983 when Shout at the Devil came out. It was just Kiss. And Ace was my dude, even back then when those solo albums came out, his was my favorite, and this was before everyone was saying it was the best one. I always liked Ace. I always liked his makeup the best. I liked his costumes the best. I'm always down for silver and black, in spite of the Raiders.
Well,
I was about to say Raiders.
Tommy Thayer is pretty amazing. He was the lead guitarist for Black and Blue.
Mm-hmm.
And in the 80s, I got to meet them in the 80s. And Tommy Thayer is one smart dude.
Yeah.
Okay, he owns a animation company. So McFarland Toys. This guy is really, pretty smart.
Great guitar player too.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
He does justice to all of Ace's stuff, and
exactly.
You can tell he really cares. So,
what's everybody's favorite Kiss record, Matthias?
I think "Creatures of the Night" is my favorite.
You son of a.
Same. I hate to say one that's not with Ace on it, but I can't deny the magic of Creatures.
Yeah.
I think I
was picking
Kiss Alive too.
Ace album. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Kiss Alive too.
That's the other one I was going to pick.
Yeah. I prefer Alive 2 over Alive. I agree.
Yeah.
Rocket Ride's on there, so that alone is and it's not live. But
Taylor, what's yours?
Picking a favorite Kiss album is like picking a favorite one of your children if you have kids.
Uh-huh. What day is it?
What's wrong with that? No.
But
That's
yeah, some of my favorites are, and they're the oft maligned ones, but I love Unmasked and The Elder, personally. And Lick It Up, I think, is a criminally underrated record. The title track got a little too much airplay compared to the other songs on the album. That is a heavy album. I mean, you got stuff on there like Exciter, Not for the Innocent, and the closing track, And on the Eighth Day, might even be my favorite Kiss song.
Wow.
What about you, Joe?
I'm gonna have to go with Destroyer.
Another excellent choice. Good. You really can't go wrong,
Yeah.
Right.
I always like to say that there are 10 Kiss albums in my top 5.
Well, my personal is Love Gun.
Great album.
Love it, man.
Great album. If I was going to pick an Ace album, it would be Love Gun.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Double Platinum is good.
Right. That was my first. That was my first Kiss album.
I have that one too. So
and I have the original first pressing of Love Gun with the Love Gun inside.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, I'll have to check mine.
Condition, my friends.
Yeah, I have a patch of that on my Kiss battle jacket, actually.
The Love Gun.
You do.
Yeah.
I have an original pressing of Love Gun, but I don't know if it has. I'll have to look further into it.
Hey, if you buy those Kiss vinyls today, brand new, they still have the posters, the gun, the stickers, the books. Everything is still in them if you buy those brand new right now.
Is it 180 gram vinyl?
Yeah, 180 gram vinyl.
180 gram vinyl is the way to go.
Oh, yeah.
They're not even expensive. They're like $25 or less.
Look, dude, I worked my ass off to get that record.
I have my original too, but
so many newspaper routes.
She went to the show. Sorry, Rob.
No,
Shay, she went to see. We talked about this at the Vamped show, but you saw Dynasty tour, right?
That was my very first concert in 1978. So Kiss was my first. So, and I couldn't hear her for a week. So
it was funny. I was selling funeral arrangements to get that Kiss record over the phone.
I hated disco at that time. I really hated disco, and I heard I Was Made for Loving You on the radio. Didn't know it was Kiss, and so I was like, that sucks. And then as soon as I found out it was Kiss, I'm like, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I loved it. So
can't go wrong with Kiss.
And then I, of course, bought the record and loved it.
Should we bring up Youngblood if we're talking about that song?
Go ahead, Joe. Very good point.
Just saying, this is the topic of the community right now. He did a cover of that song, and I don't know. Somebody played it for me in the car one time, and I thought it was pretty decent.
Yeah.
Isn't it slowed down? Did he make it like a ballad?
It's like it's all
very
sexy now.
Atmospheric. Yeah.
That kid's bringing a new kind of energy to the scene. I gotta say.
In 2026, Youngblood is going to be putting a stamp on the U.S.
Oh yeah.
So
they're
see if we
planning
can't
it
corrupt
right
him
now,
Vegas
right?
style.
Stay tuned on Youngblood.
For sure.
Anyway,
Okay, Rob, it's your turn, buddy.
It's my turn. So anyway, I started talking about Ace, and so that's my I'm gonna go with Ace Frehley and Mick Mars because Kiss was my first band that I fell in love with. I fell in love with the Beatles, before I knew about Kiss, but as far as metal bands go, Kiss was my first, and then Motley Crue, in '83 when Shout came out, took over my life in much the same way. And I was always drawn to the lead guitar parts in both of those bands because it's really just the one instrument that I cannot play in any level of greatness. It's mediocre rhythm playing is about it. So I was always fascinated with Ace's and Mick's solos because they're like little songs within a song, And so I could sit here and hum almost all of their solos, and that's why I go with those guys, because I don't care about flashy technical stuff. I mean, I appreciate it, and I like a lot of guitar players that can do that stuff, like Warren DeMartini, but
He's awesome.
I like the simplicity and the melodic. Their solos are little vocal melodies, is what they are, and so that's why I go with those guys. And plus, I always liked the way they both looked. I like their vibe, and a lot of people in the '80s would say, that Mick was not a good guitar player, and I might fight somebody over that back then. And,
I'll back you up as well.
It was the same when The Elder came out, all of a sudden I was the only kid on my block that liked Kiss anymore. And so I started fighting with kids, because Kiss sucks. I'm like, you might as well be talking about my mother, like we're going, and so it's just fun times, drama and all that. But yeah, gosh, the creative genius of Mick Mars on the Dr. Feelgood album and the Karabi album. Love his slide guitar playing. So yeah, it's those two guys.
Well, let's dig a little deeper into Mick Mars.
Let's do it.
Mick Mars is one of the most underrated guitar players out there. Let's face it. I think Motley Crue did a disservice to him by kind of playing him down with all the tours and the records. You guys know what I'm talking about. Not really focusing on him. And his solo album is absolutely amazing.
Amazing, right? Yeah.
A cinematic masterpiece.
Yeah.
Yes. And
great album.
That has got to be one of the albums really of the decade because it's just done right.
Yeah.
And
Fun. I was going to say,
one of my friends from Nashville, sorry, Joe, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
One of my friends from Nashville actually sang on that record, Brian Gamboa.
Nice.
He was working really closely with Mick in actually producing a couple of the songs as well as singing on the record. And really amazing.
Yeah, the production of that record is phenomenal as well. I mean, I was not expecting it to be as great as it was.
No, I don't think anybody was.
Yeah, great job, Mick.
I got to sit down with Jacob Bunton at the Rainbow, and I picked his brain about that album quite a bit.
Nice.
He's a nice guy.
It's a good record. If you guys haven't heard it, definitely listen to it because it's well worth it.
I bought the vinyl and the CD. That's how much I liked it.
Yeah.
I was about to say, if you buy the vinyl, you get the fun experience of thinking your turntable just broke on one of the songs.
Yeah.
Rob knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Even when it first came out, even though I owned it and stuff, I was still streaming it. And so, when that part came up, I was like, what the fuck is the internet going out? We lost connection.
It'll get you.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, what's your favorite Motley album, Rob?
It's much like with Kiss. It kind of depends on what day it is, and then there's all of them in my top one. So on most days though, I'll go with either Shout or Too Fast because Shout or Too Fast. They're just, what can you say about those two records? I mean, they're perfect. There's been times in my life when Dr. Feelgood was my favorite, and certainly the John Corabi album in '94 was I was not expecting that. When that came out, it took me by surprise, and it took me about 6 weeks to digest it and figure out if I loved it or hated it. It was like and daily it would change, and then finally one day when Dropping Like Flies was playing and that little Mick Mars guitar solo came on, I was like, oh my God, I finally just got it. This album is the best thing ever. And so, I got to see that tour luckily, and man, it was at the Palladium in Hollywood, and it wasn't even sold out, like I couldn't even believe. And it sounded like Bob Rock himself was there, mixing the sound. That's how good that concert sounded. And I still don't think I've ever heard a better sounding concert than being there. But yeah, sometimes I'll go with the Corabi album, but usually it's shouting too fast. But I do love all of them except maybe like New Tattoo is like one that I like less just because it's not produced as well. But other than that, I love them all.
My least favorite is Generation Swine.
I was gonna say, I know you hate Generation Swine. I love Generation Swine, but I get why people don't like it. Yeah.
It's 2 against 1, Joe.
Yeah.
Us 2 against him.
Oh, you
I
hate Generation Swine too?
I gave it a whirl. Either when the Dirt came out or something like that. I was like, let me just try this one.
Well, I remember Mick saying during the recording of that album, they kept saying to him, dude, can you make it sound less like a guitar? And he's like, dude, I'm a fucking guitar player. What do you want from me? You know? And they're like, we want it to sound weird, you know?
We want it to sound like a banjo.
Yeah, they kind of ruined some of his solos by the way they made him sound.
Just the concept of that record alone. I mean,
I gotta find myself some drugs.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Saints of Los Angeles?
Love
album?
it. Love that.
Jay,
love it. Yeah. Love it.
That's a great record.
I think so backflips the first time I heard that single on the radio. I was like, oh my God, they're back.
But you know what? Let's talk about their residency here in Vegas.
I saw it.
I got a chance to go, and incredible. I was blown away.
I was
because when I went, I'm like, oh, you know, okay, let's check it out.
I wasn't even going to go. I was so convinced that it wasn't going to be great that I just didn't want to do it.
Well, I heard so much negative press about Vince.
Yeah, same. And then opening night, I was gifted free tickets, and so I couldn't say no to that.
But
so I went.
Let's touch on Vince for a second. He had a stroke.
He had four strokes.
Oh my God.
So when that concert started, I couldn't believe the production alone. That is my concert of 2025. Yeah. There's two. Oh. That's one of them.
I went back because when I went for free opening night, I was up in the balcony and I was watching it and I was like, remembering why I fell in love with this band in the first place. That's how good the show was. And so I decided I need to go see it again, but up close. And so we got tickets and we were pretty close, but Melissa convinced the usher to bring us up to the second row. And so I got to watch the second show from the second row and really just kind of.
Yeah, I was in the VIP section, media press.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And let me tell you, great view of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Taylor, did you go?
I did not.
Oh, okay. But let me tell you, that's one of the concerts of 2025.
Oh,
the second one I'll be talking about shortly.
It was so good.
Anybody who got to see that residency might share this same thing as me, but did anyone else think, like, when the first song came on and they were in that corner of the stage, we're like, oh man, did we get ripped off?
No, I knew exactly what they were doing. I was like, oh my God, they're making it like they're playing at the Whiskey.
Yeah, well, from the balcony, you can probably see that, right? But like from where I was standing, it was like the lights just went on far, and I'm like looking over the guy with the hat, and I'm like, oh shit, is that where it's gonna, And then they moved over to the center stage for the, and it was fine, but
that's crazy.
At first, you were a little worried. I kind of
felt the same thing.
Yeah,
I was like, oh dear, I really underestimated this.
Oh, for sure.
They're on hard times, aren't they? The stage is so small.
Yeah. I mean, but let me tell you something. That was a great show.
Great show.
I tell everyone it made me realize and remember why I fell in love with that band.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so glad that I got the opportunity to go. Yeah. Great show.
Yeah.
But okay, so we're up to me. So a few of you know who I'm going to be talking about first. I'm going to talk about Jeff Young. Okay. I've been friends with Jeff for about 5 years. And Jeff is one of the most amazing players to not only photograph, videograph, and watch. I have been caught in 3 mosh pits. 2 in Australia, believe it or not, and one recently in Phoenix. I was right in the front. It's funny because if you go to Australia, they have the pit, and it's totally gated. Okay, nobody can get in there, unless you're with the band. And a 400-pound Hawaiian guy decided to jump
Is
the
there any other kind?
barrier, and I'm sitting there, taking my camera apart. We're down to the last couple songs. All of a sudden, I feel this 300-pound guy roll off my nose. And I'm like this. And Chaz, he's looking at me like, oh my God, what just happened? And I'm like, I'm okay. I was fine. I thought I was going to have a broken nose in Sydney, Australia. But it was all good. But
lucky.
that was definitely an experience there. But Phoenix, there's no barriers. It's just a stage. It was at a bar, the 44. I don't know if anybody's been to the 44 in
I heard about it,
Phoenix.
yeah.
It's an
A nice
amazing
looking place.
club.
Yeah.
Amazing. Where did Taylor go?
Just replenishing my beverage. I'm still here.
Okay, but anyway, Jeff is so amazing to watch. He actually has his own solo stuff. You can find that on Jeff Young, guitarist.com. Also YouTube. He's really amazing. He does jazz, flamenco. His latest solo show at Backstage Bar and Billiards was really great.
I was there.
He had Kayla Dixon singing in his band, and he had Gabriel O'Connor from Red Devil Vortex playing bass. It was one hell of a show. Really great. Looking forward to having more shows for him in 2026. He's pretty busy, though, with the Kings of Thrash. They're going to Tokyo. They're going to be going to Berlin. They're going to be playing places they've never played before in 26. But Jeff and I are really good friends, and I think he's amazing. But the second
I agree.
half, huh?
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just he's really great, and he's fun to photograph as well, because he's kind of unpredictable when I'm shooting him. Because he'll either look right at me or tell me to back the fuck up.
Well, you're always up front.
Hey, at least he doesn't give you the Josh Home treatment.
Right. I know.
Anybody who doesn't know what that is?
What is that?
The lead singer from the Queens of the Stone Age kicked a photographer in the face a couple years back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've read about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't blow over too well, but
Yeah.
I haven't heard much about it since.
I'm glad that doesn't happen to me. Okay, second person. I gotta clear my throat for this one. Mike Campese. He is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, awesome guy.
11 studio records out.
Wow.
He's toured the world multiple times.
Guess he just got back from Hawaii.
Yes.
Right?
He was there a month.
Wow.
He just did his anniversary for Reset. If you haven't heard any of his records, definitely check them out. MikeCampese.com. He has a brand new record coming out in 26. It will be his 12th studio record. He is one guitar player that I have photographed, and he does not take a bad shot. But he does move around a lot more than the average guitar player.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, he can play anything. And he just had that recent acoustic performance with Michael Sweet at Backstage Bar and Billiards, which is actually my second best show of 2025.
Damn it.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean, it was an
Missed it.
amazing
Wow.
show.
we missed that.
Yeah, and if I mean, incredible. Um, that was the first time I think in Vegas he played an acoustic show like that. Super great. It was amazing. Great crowd. I look forward to filming and taking pictures of him in 26. It's going to be a great year for Mike. With that new album coming out in 26, it's going to be pretty incredible.
Yeah, we love Mike. We
Mhm.
we have multiple albums from him, and we also saw him in. We were in Sweden at the same time he
Yeah.
was touring Europe, so
Yeah.
we
Talk
got to
about that,
hang.
Matthias.
We
I
went to
want
one
you
of the
talk
shows.
about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, we were in Stockholm the same day he played in Stockholm. So it was like a bit outside of the central city he played, which a place I know well since I had my office close by there before I moved to the US. But it was just so much. Well, first off, there was like a kind of like a bar as well, right? Like many bands play at, and we came in early, got to hang out with him, during sound check. Talked to the sound people, and one funny thing that one of the sound engineers, she's the drummer for the band Thunder Mother. So we got to
Yeah. We were hanging out with
with her, yeah. But it was really cool. And speaking of shooting, we took tons of photographs and videos of him when he was playing there in Sweden. And also one thing about Mike that not many people know, I think, he's also a really good singer
Yes.
for these type of like Jimi
Amazing.
Hendrix songs when he does covers. He really
He's a
good
great
voice. So.
songwriter. Absolutely great
Oh, yeah.
songwriter.
And also the way he plays is like inspiration from Yngwie Malmsteen and all these neoclassical guitar players that I love. So I'm a big fan of Mike, and I was a big fan of Mike before you even met him the first time. So, so it was a funny thing that he actually lived here or moved here to Las Vegas. So
Yeah.
cool stuff.
But 2026 is going to be great for Mike. Can't wait to see what happens next from him. But as we close out the show, wow, that hour went by really fast.
Good company.
Already been.
I'm going to let each of you guys tell us like your websites, anything like that for the viewers who would like to check it out. Taylor, where do you start?
Okay.
Okay, so the site that I do all my reviews for is zrocker.com, zrockr.com. And I also have a YouTube channel, but that's just my name, Taylor T. Carlson.
And you do book reviews as well, right? Movies?
Yeah, movies quite often, books not as much. That is something I'd like to get more into, though.
Okay, very cool. Okay, Shay Matthias.
Yeah, so like we mentioned, the website is the Rockin' Roundtable. So not rocking with a G at the end, rockinroundtable.com. And also the same handle on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook as well.
Yep.
Okay, Joe, what about you?
So mine's pretty easy. No matter where you go to search, it is Joe Whitley and the Strays. It's
.com.
YouTube, TikTok, all joewhitley.com. It's all just Joe Whitley and the Strays.
Easy. Okay,
Yeah.
Rob, you got quite a few, Cyanide. So tell us all your websites.
I have one website, cyaniderocks.com, ROCKS. And it on that website there's a separate page for each tribute band and a EPK and videos and all that good stuff. And then it's also the web page for Cyanide, which just released the new album 21 Gun Salute. It's
Killer
been out
album.
for a little while. Thank you.
Got it right
Thank
here.
you.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this.
Rob, I'll have to
And,
get you to hook me up with some vinyl on that, by the way.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna get vinyl done now. I mean,
Okay.
the album's done much better than I could have expected, and so I was like, wow, I can't wait to make another one. But yeah, cyaniderocks.com. We'll be at the Tuscany Saturday night. Cyanide opening for Red Hot, the Motley Crue tribute. I'll be playing bass and singing Saturday night in Cyanide because our bass player is injured and that was way better option than canceling the cyanide gig.
Oh, right.
I've been busting my ass the last 3 weeks trying to get decent at playing bass while I'm singing, and so
You got this.
we'll all find out Saturday night how good I am.
Well, I want to thank all you guys for coming. Wish everybody a great 2026.
Absolutely.
I'm going to try
Thanks
to
for
get
having
my
us.
Thanks for
voice
having me.
back by 26.
hope so.
But you guys all keep the rock alive. And it's important for all of us to stick together because we are rockers through and through.
One last thing.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention Cyanide has a brand new music video dropping on New Year's Day for Slip and Slide. And it's a
Sweet.
pro
All
shot
right.
music video. It's really good. I'm really happy with the way it came out.
Well, we can't wait to see it, Rob.
Right on.
Excellent. Yeah.
All right.
We'll do a reaction, Rob.
And
All
Rob,
right.
Woo!
That'll be awesome.
Rob
Yeah.
will be my guest in March for his own half-hour show.
Really?
So
Ooh.
we'll be talking about that later, Rob.
By then I might have another video out.
Right.
Because I was just checking the stats, and like the ballad "Never Let Me Go" is getting played all over the place in all over
Awesome.
Italy. It's got like 222 radio spins last week or something. I'm like,
We'll
what?
have plenty to talk about.
Sweet.
And of
Yeah.
course, Joe,
Woo!
I'm sure I'll be talking to you in 26.
Yep, this record's just about finished. We're just waiting on. There's 5 tracks in total, so we're just waiting on the last 2 ones to get mixed, and it's done. It'll.
Tony Curtis, hurry up.
I know.
I can't wait to hear it.
I can't wait for everyone else to hear it. It's
So,
been
yeah, thank you, everybody. And I will see you all in 2026.
Love you all. Thank you
All
for
right.
having us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Ditto.
Thanks, everyone.
ditto. Thanks for having us, or me.
Bye bye.
Let's see if I can figure out how to turn this thing off.
Wow, what a great show. Amazing guitar players we talked about for the hour. Super amazing. Thank you for watching. In 2025, I will be going into my 4th year of my show in 2026. Always like and subscribe to On the Rocks because you never know who I will be interviewing next.